welcome to the I Ching Cafe. My name is Belinda Doveston, and it is wonderful to have you here with me for our monthly overview, our I Ching overview for the month of March 2022. Right, so let us have a look and recap where we were in February. What did the I Ching ask us to pay attention to? What were the flows of change that were calling to us and asking us to pay attention to them? And we had Hexagram 36, darkening of the light. We had lots of changing lines, culminating in the last changing line, referring to darkness consuming itself. And then we had our second hexagram, 61, centered truth, all about the truth revealing itself, things lining up, things coming to fruition. So no doubt February was quite a challenging month for you, as it was for me, with all this intensity of the changing lines. Now, I have been asked to provide some thoughts on what we could learn from the I Ching from last month and of course from this month going ahead. With the global crisis we find ourselves, we not only had coronavirus and COVID and dealing with that and still dealing with that, we now have war. And I really wanted to take a moment for us to think about the darkening of the light and that last changing line that came up, which was darkness consumes itself, coupled with hexagram 61, centered truth, where truth reveals itself. And if you remember from watching that episode or listening to it, if you're on the podcast, that centered truth is really about things lining up and seeing things and getting an insight and seeing things clearly, seeing things for what they are. So I'm certainly not going to get into a whole lot of political or global commentary as to what is going on. You're well aware of the situation happening in the Ukraine, and so your task is to work with that and for us to apply our minds in sending healing, in sending our prayers, and sending our thoughts in the protection of the people of Ukraine. My heart is with the people of Ukraine, and I think that maybe we can just use the I Ching to help us hook our thoughts into a way that we can navigate through this crisis. Okay, so if we then apply last month and we think about, right, darkening of the light, okay, darkness coming, darkness making itself known, and of course, truth revealing itself. The reality of what is aimed, what the real intentions are, what is really going on, becoming visible, becoming clear. The question is, now what do we do with that? Okay. And for you, what was last month all about? What was the thing that you were protecting? You know, the darkening of the light, that difficulty around you. What was the thing that you were protecting on the inside? And what truth came to your awareness as you wrapped up February? So let's have a look at March. What is the I Ching asking us to pay attention to? Two very interesting hexagrams, two changing lines. So let's get into what that is all about. Our first hexagram for March is hexagram 25, Innocence. Okay, this hexagram is all about being free to act spontaneously and being open to the unexpected. And certainly our world has had a lot of unexpected twists and turns of late. But for us this month, we're being asked in our personal lives and our business lives to pay attention to the spontaneous, unplanned, unexpected events and opportunities that present themselves, and the way that we can seize the day and act in the moment and see that tactical maneuver and go with it and unlock a whole lot of new and interesting things is that we are disentangled from attachments. You have heard me speak on this hexagram before, using the analogy of a little kitten that's got itself all entangled in a ball of yarn. And the more it tries to play and fight and scupper and skittle up and down, it gets more and more entangled. And so it eventually mews for help because it's so trussed up, like a chicken, as it were, in this process of entanglement. It cannot go and get that source of cream that's waiting for it in the kitchen. So for us too, this month, there are opportunities for us to seize the moment and to ride the wave of unexpected twists and turns. Now, the I Ching doesn't always tell us that that twist or the turn is positive or negative, but what we can do is we can focus our attention on disentangling from the attachments that prevent us from taking that moment. So what might those attachments look like? Well, at a very simplistic level, the way I see this hexagram is that sometimes we want to control things. We want to manipulate an outcome. We want to craft what the outcome or what the solution is. And quite honestly, we very often don't understand what is really unfolding, what is really necessary, what is really happening in the processes around us. So when we try and get too clever, when we try and control and manipulate flows, all right, and we try and get overly clever with using our heads to position things and control and manipulate things, we get ourselves caught up in a prison of our own making because we make it complicated, we entangle the whole process, and we get stuck. The other aspect of entanglement is emotional entanglements, where we've created our own emotional attachments, our own internal rules that we have created that says, I will not do this, I will never do that. If he says that, I will never do that. If she does that, I will never do that. And we create all these emotional entanglements. So our task for March is to be absolutely focused on what are all the things that lock us in. What are our thoughts and our feelings that have us trapped and locked in the ball of yarn? Where are we trapped by our analysis paralysis, by our kind of illusions that keep us tied to particular ways of working, our delusions? What are these mental frameworks that we have created that enslave us into an old way of doing things, that prevent us from taking action and being free of the past so that we can move forward into the future? And if we can really dedicate ourselves to this focus in this month, we can be ready to tap into the unexpected opportunities. Because this hexagram says unexpected things come up and we've got to be agile and we've got to be ready to go with the flow. If we are trussed up in the yarn, it becomes very tricky to do. All right, so let's have a look at the two changing lines we have for the month. They are in the first and the third position, and we can timestamp them, rough estimate of how they evolve throughout the month. So our first changing line in the first position will mature over the first 10 days of March, round about to the 10th of March. It's not a perfect science, so please don't say, oh, the 10th of March is here, where is this changing line? Just to give you an idea of the flows and the cycles throughout the month. So really, for the first 10 days of the month, this changing line is likely to be a dominant flow for you. And this changing line says it's the start, number one, okay, it's the beginning, it's the first line coming in. If you approach the situation with innocence and openness and with simplicity and with a lack of ego, the door is open and you can go for it. So for the first 10 days, approaching something with an openness, an open heart, with an innocent mind of a child that just sees things as they are, not with all the complexities and the shadows and the layering that we adults tend to put on things. If we see things openly with the eyes of a child for the first 10 days, if we approach things simply, the door is open and the route is clear to act. Okay, so there's something that we just need to stay in that open wonderment of a child, that sense of anything's possible. What is this? Oh, this is interesting. This is curious. What is this all about? What are the implications? Let me work with this. Let me play with this. If we approach the first 10 days of the month and we have this openness around what is happening around us, just being really attuned and open to what is happening, we can really move forward and we can seize the moment. So that's a wonderful thing for us to work with. Our next changing line in the third position, a little tricky. Okay, so this will kick in round about the 10th and build up towards the 20th of March. This changing line talks about loss, okay, an unexpected loss. The story about it is that you have in your farm or outside your saloon, you have a horse or you have a cow that's tethered, and someone who comes past on their way somewhere else comes and takes your cow, your horse, untethers them from the hook and goes with it. Okay, your cow is gone. And so it talks about an unexpected loss, losing something that was dear to you. And what this line is calling us to do is to make a choice as to how we deal with this situation. Choice number one, we can stay where we are, okay, which is referred to staying in the capital, and we experience the loss, okay. Or we can become the moving people. We can move to a new state, and we can move with the cow, as it were, or the horse, and we can then actually be led through the process to something new. So there's a choice here. Stay where you are, okay, or where you've come from, the capital city, okay, the place that is your origin, or move with the people, move somewhere new, okay. And that is where the opportunity then comes to unlock the unexpected opportunity in this loss. It's a choice, how we deal with it. Everything is a choice. Do we take the path of the master or the not master, as I spoke about recently? So, the cow is gone. There's a loss. Something dear to us has been taken, okay, either by somebody else or circumstance. We have temporarily lost sight of the cow or the horse. And our choice is, do we stay where we are, where we have been, or do we move into a new phase? Do we move with the flow of change, or do we resist change? And if we flow with the change, if we become mobile and agile and we move forward and we accept the circumstances we're in, we accept the loss, we take it and we just use that energy to help us move forward, then we can unlock the opportunity for growth and bounty that comes from taking the action. Okay, so let's have a look at our second hexagram for March. Remember that although we talk about the main hexagram and the outcome hexagram, there are two stories of change that fit together. Okay, so they evolve throughout the month. We start with full force, 25 innocence, and we evolve into the second hexagram, and they work in parallel, right? So we see them as parallel focuses of change. Our second hexagram is hexagram 33, retreat. Okay, so the cow may have gone, but retreat is our second hexagram that we have to pay attention to. And this hexagram is a hexagram of recognizing where we have met our match, we are not up to the task, and so strategically we retreat out of danger to go and regenerate, reevaluate, and see if this is something that we want to keep on doing or we want to change direction. I hope what this means is the retreat of forces out of Ukraine and the release of the people back to their lives to rebuild. And let's hope and affirm that that is what manifests as a result of this, if not sooner. But personally, what this really calls us to pay attention to is where we face an obstacle, and literally it talks about an enemy on the battlefield where the enemy is just too large, okay? And we just have to accept that this is not our battle for now, and we withdraw. I'm really trying very hard to avoid war and battle language and imagery for you at this time. So retreat is, right, there's something here that I'm not up for. I'm going to withdraw. I'm going to lick my wounds. I'm going to reevaluate. I'm going into the cave. I'm going to take time out. I'm going to rest and recuperate and then rethink what I want to do. So retreat could be a relationship, a business partnership. It could be a project. It could be anything that you realize that if I keep on pushing down this road, I'm just going to exhaust myself. I'm going to run out of juice. And so what I need to do to protect myself is strategically retreat. And retreat is not failure, right? It's not losing something. It's recognizing when it is not time to keep on pushing forward on a particular issue. So what do you need to withdraw from? What is no longer good for you? What is sapping your energy or sucking you dry? Okay, what is no longer in your highest and your best interests? And perhaps it's a temporary retreat. You just need some time out. Maybe you literally need a retreat. But maybe it's just about a bit of a timeout, just to rethink and reflect. Give yourself some breathing space on an issue. That could be the retreat for you this month. So, as we think about March, we think about being this kitten and we say, right, we don't want to become entangled. We want the saucer of cream that's waiting for us. We have to disentangle from the emotional and mental complexities and attachments that hold us locked into the past, because unexpected opportunities come and we have to be ready for them. And let us let go of the old attachments that keep us locked in old patterns of thinking, in rules that are restrictive, that prevent us from being expansive and thinking from a 360-degree point of view. Let us be expansive, let's be open, let's be ready to take action and to step into an unexpected path, into an unexpected leap into our future. So please like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to get a notification on YouTube when a new episode drops, make sure you've got that little bell button is ticked, because that will give you a notification into your app when a new episode is dropped. And of course, thank you podcast listeners for being here with me on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, and wherever other fine podcasts are found. Thank you for joining me on those platforms. I look forward to sharing with you soon the next weekly overview, the full one for March, and I wish you an amazing, awesome month. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon.